It's time for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris at Slumberland Furniture. From Slumberland Furniture in Osage Beach, here are your hosts, William Holtz and Chris Schneider.
It's that time for a cup of coffee from Slumberland at the lake, and you might have noticed, this is not Uncle Chris. Mike Clayton filling in for Uncle C. Thanks for being here, Mike.
Chris had one too many screw-ups, and I could not stand it any longer, so I'm here for him.
We'll see how long the fill-in lasts. It's Mike Clayton. We're going to talk about post-radio, what Mike is up to, and how he's enjoying life. We're going to have Brendan West from Lake Area Soccer Association on to talk about the registration season and some other things they've got going on, plus local headlines in the Chiefs advance. We'll tell you about that and a whole lot more, but first, this from Slumberland at the lake.
Hey everybody, Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. We're right in the middle of our big clearance sale. Items up to 80% off for every room of the house. We've got Tempur-Pedic mattresses, $1,000 off. Bedroom sets starting at $999. Couches starting at $399. Come check it out. Overstocks, scratch, dent, dings, anything you can think of. On sale, Slumberland Furniture, where we're bringing happy home.
And back, and as I promised you guys, Brendan West with Losa, and I know everyone's kind of used to seeing you with Aquapest, so real quick, shameless plug, Aquapest, are you guys still taking docks and homes for this upcoming season?
Absolutely, we're crazy busy. You follow us, aquapest.com, get your quote in, we'll get you taken care of right away.
Yeah, they treat your dock, your home, all the pests, all the different cobwebs, things like that, so make sure you reach out. But today, you're here in a different capacity. You're the vice president with Losa, the Lake Area Soccer Association, and it's an exciting time for you guys, so talk to us about what's going on with Losa.
Yeah, I know. It's really hard to think about outdoor soccer right now, right? As we're going through ice storms and kids staying home from school. But yeah, we are right in the middle of our registration for our spring soccer at Losa. A lot of people have probably seen the Losa logo or kind of heard about Losa, but Losa is our youth soccer organization right here at the lake. We play all our games right down there in Lynn Creek at our soccer complex down there. And right now we're right in the middle of our registration for spring soccer. The registration goes through February 23rd. And we do youth soccer for kids ages 4 to 15. That's girls and boys.
Okay.
We do combined teams, so you've got girls and boys on the same team. We're not a competitive league. We are a rec league right here at the lake. But, man, what an organization it is. We're 100% volunteers.
Wow.
That run this organization. Last fall in the 2023 season, we had 555 kids out for soccer.
You mean you had 550 plus kids from the area in Losa?
Yep.
And so it's massive, and you mentioned
massive.
ages 4 through 15, both boys and girls. Welcome, and so I know a lot of people watching are like, man, I want to get my kids signed up for that.
Absolutely.
What's the cost associated with something like this?
So it is $75 a kid to sign up. We do have a cap on kids. You know, if you have multiple kids in your family, you know, we have a breakdown. Justin Farrell and I and the board, you know, we'll never turn somebody away if they want to play soccer.
That's awesome.
We have unbelievable help in our organization.
That's what I was going to say. Is one of the things always I've heard stories and parents have given praise reports is if they're in a rough situation and they want their kid to have this opportunity, we will find a way. Losa always says, we will find a way to make sure your kid plays soccer. And at $75, man, that's a really good value because the season is long, a lot of games. So talk about the season and how many games the kids will play.
Yeah, so you typically play 2 games a season, or I'm sorry, 2 games a season, 2 games a day. We play only on Saturdays. Some of those weeks we'll only have 1 game, but we try to do back-to-back doubleheaders, or you at least have 2 games that day, and we go all the way through May. And we have some of the dates that we're off, like Dogwood Festival, Easter, that kind of stuff. If you go to our website, losa.org, that's where you'll sign up, and also it gives you a full calendar, give a breakdown of every week that we have games and then what weeks we're off. we go back into the scholarship and that kind of stuff. We'll never turn a child away that wants to play soccer, a family that wants to play soccer. We have an unbelievable support group out there. GCMA here at the lake has done such good things for Losa.
Yeah.
We're always looking, though, for more sponsorships. Well, I don't know that there is, as a local businessman here at the lake, we're all fighting after the same advertising dollar.
Right.
You know, it's kind of tough out there sometimes in print magazine or print or here on Lake TV or wherever it is.
Lots of options.
Lots of options. I don't know an area that you are going to get, like I said, 555 kids are coming down. And let's say spring of last year, we had 617, so 600 plus kids. You know as well as I do that also is mom and dad, grandma and grandpa. So you got four more people that are coming down there. So we have banner situations that you can buy a banner.
Yeah, let's face it.
Yeah.
I mean, $300, $100, and $300 options.
Yeah.
Whether you want to sponsor a team and get your logo on the shirt, the kids will wear forever.
Right.
I've sponsored teams before, and the kids still wear those shirts around a field or a sign at the field, and you can also get a banner up front. But I was going to mention your guys' Facebook page, a lot of great information, everything's up to date.
Yeah.
And you can connect with you guys on there and reach out for sponsorship because that's big. But another thing that you guys might have need for is officials, right? And you guys have a clinic coming up.
Well, you do. Referees are the only paid position that we have at Losa. Our referees do get paid. One of the most amazing things about that is Corinne Nielsen runs our referee program. Most of those kids out there, it's their first job ever, Will.
Wow.
And they are earning money and working hard.
I can speak on that. I grew up in Eldon with the Caesar family, right? And Tim Caesar ran that league. And we got to ref the soccer games, and we got $15 a game. And I would do 2 to 4 games every Saturday. But they were smart. Tim wanted us to build up a little bit of savings. And so we didn't get paid till the end of the summer. And one summer at like 14 years old, 15 years old, I got like $1,700 or $1,800 at the end of the summer, and that was massive. And so that opportunity is out there.
Absolutely.
And so if there's a young person or, hey, even somebody, high school, college, past that wants to find out more, tell us some more information about the upcoming referee clinic.
So that referee clinic is going to be February 18th at the YMCA. Go to our Losa page. You'll see a contact for that. Corinne, you'll call Corinne. She'll set that all up. A lot of it is online, and a lot of it has to do with the clinic class also. But it really gives that child the opportunity to make a little bit of money this spring.
And have fun, be outdoors, and it's not so much work as it is an opportunity to mentor, interact, and get some exercise.
Well, you say that. We all hear man, these kids, they're just sitting around on the computers and tablets and everything. I promise you come out down to Losa on a Saturday morning and see over 1,000 kids running around playing soccer. They're not playing on video games, right? And that's, again, everybody wants to get behind something. That's something to get behind is kids playing sports, being outside, exercising, having fun, laughing, and making new friends. And that's the most important thing to us.
Listen, guys, over 500 kids last year, and really no cap. Registration now open. Make sure you reach out and find a way to get some information from them if you have interest. And also, local businesses, take advantage of these incredible sponsorship opportunities because they are what allow kids with or without ability to pay to make sure they're playing soccer with Losa. Last, I'll say it, February 23rd is deadline to register and get signed up for the referee clinic on February 18th at the YMCA. For Brendan West with Losa, thanks for your time, my friend, and good luck this season.
Thank you so much.
All right, hey, before we go, what if I told you we celebrate people who excel in the classroom and we celebrate people who excel on the field? What if one local individual not only excelled in those 2 arenas, but many others? We're going to tell you about her after this.
Have you visualized your ideal retirement and how to get there? It isn't just putting your feet up after years of a job well done. The Retirement Design Lab at State Fair Community College will cover budgeting, retirement tracking, and planning. Presented by SRG Financial Advisors, the workshop will be taking place on Tuesday, February 6th or Thursday, February 8th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We aim to make you more confident in your retirement for no cost. Just call or go online to register. Retirement Design Lab. Learn to build a more confident retirement.
Hey, so you saw that SRG event coming up Tuesday and Thursday. One of those 2 nights will be very beneficial for you to go check that out. You can learn a lot and set yourself up for a great retirement. Now, as we move ahead to local headlines, we're going to start with, it was big news here a few weeks ago. About a month ago, Mike Clayton set to retire from radio.
Right?
and you're here, but you're not exactly retired. A lot of us know that you have taken on a full-time role with Wonderland Camp. So talk to us about that and how everything's going.
Radio was great. It allowed me to, raise a family and be a part of this great community. But, it's just, I think it was time. 36 years in broadcasting and 29 here with Benny Media. And yes, I think it was a good time for me to step aside. And then I had a great opportunity to come on board with Wonderland Camp full-time. It's a job that I've been doing for 4 years part-time as Director of Fund Development and Communications. But I mean, it's really rewarding to be able now to be there full-time and devote all my attention to it. So yes, good opportunity, blessed.
And you said 35 plus years, 29 here with Benny Media. Mix 92, of course, familiar with you, Jeff Carr, Stacy Johnson.
Who's still doing the show.
And Jeff Carr, again, we had him on last week to talk about his Veterans Program Guide.
Yep.
And so for you, you mentioned the last 4 years you've been in this new role as the fund development for Wonderland Camp, and you've really kind of fallen in love with it. So talk to us about what went into this decision. You said, well, it was just the right time, but for Mike Clayton, not as a radio personality, but as an individual, like what went into that decision as far as knowing, yeah, this is the right time to move my passion and my energy towards something that maybe I'm more aligned towards?
Yeah, and I didn't think I would have a knack for it, and I don't know that knack is the right word, because it's basically talking to people and building relationships and do what you say you're going to do. And it's easy to talk about the camp.
Yeah.
I mean, we're a camp for people with disabilities. We've been around almost 55 years. We help so many people. And so I think just it was a natural progression for me just to move into this role in a full-time basis and support people with disabilities and work more closely with our wonderful staff that we have and the caring, giving people and volunteers and donors that we have. I tell people all the time, it really wasn't that hard of a decision.
Yeah.
I'm blessed that our board of directors gave me the opportunity to do it on a full-time basis,
I often say, and we talk a lot off the air and through our different journeys, but I have this internal battle at times. I say, as much as I love what I do, we get to help a lot of people, but at the end of the day, we're helping people with their marketing and advertising and entertaining them and informing them, and that's great and it's important in the short term, but when you look at what we're here for and the difference and the legacy we're gonna make, you want to do something that you feel like is truly making a difference. And for you, Wonderland Camp really does provide that outlet.
But don't in anybody, don't discount what you do on a daily basis, especially, what I did in radio and the people that I brought into my show, nonprofits and communities and helping people that way. I mean, you do the same thing here. So Lake TV is a very important mission that you have. And I know how much you give back to the community. I know how much you give to Wonderland Camp. So I know you are, you should be very proud of what you do, and your staff should be very proud of what they do.
Well, I appreciate that. And I've always been encouraged and inspired by you because you live that service above self mindset, whether it's emceeing and volunteering for all these things. And it's so important. And so it's cool to see with Wonderland Camp, you truly are full-time dedicated to that. And I know you're super involved with 9th Street. You and Jack were like running the concession Saturday for Upward, I believe. And so you're getting more opportunities like that.
Yeah, we're trying to spread ourselves out a little bit. And we want to help more nonprofits, and you're going to see us, we're going to work with more nonprofits at Wonderland Camp. We call them our charity partners and stuff. And that's one of the things that I want to do now that I have more time to do that. And I want to spend more time giving to other people that help in the community and also give to Wonderland Camp. So we have a full slate of things coming up. We have a lot of activities coming up. The camp's hiring. We'd love for you to come to work for Wonderland Camp. We hire about 100 people a year. Wow. We have our Treasure Island Casino benefit coming up at Jolly Rogers. That's in May. We do T-shirt sales. All of our campers get a T-shirt. I'm selling sponsorships for T-shirts. Very busy spring as we ramp up. Our first camp is coming up Valentine's weekend, and then we'll camp all the way into December this year. So we hope to have about 1,700 campers. It's going to be great.
And so for a few of our viewers that watch us outside the area or even here locally that may not be very familiar with Wonderland Camp, just give us a Cliff Notes version of what exactly Wonderland Camp does.
Yeah, so Wonderland Camp is a camp for people with disabilities. And we used to just say summer camp because we used to camp from May until August. But now we have so many weekend camps and specialty camps that really we start camping in February and we go into December. We have Christmas camps. We have holiday camps now. We have mama's camps. We have father-son weekends. We have mother-daughter weekends. We have special camps for people with certain disabilities. So
I love.
And we've been around for 55 years, about 55 years.
I love some of the weekend retreats and the opportunities you guys are doing. Last year, I believe, or 2 years ago, you guys did a silent retreat.
That's right.
Where I thought that I wasn't able to attend, but I was so excited about that and thought that would be so neat. So where can someone plug in and find out about all of the organization history and upcoming events and maybe even trying to apply for one of these positions?
Yeah, it's easy to do. Go to wonderlandcamp.org. All the information is right there on the website. We have a great Facebook page, Official Wonderland Camp. We're on X, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're on TikTok. A shout out to Jill Wilkie, our executive director, who does a great job with our staff. Megan Mertensmeyer, who is the camp director. Stephanie Daner, as you know, does marketing for the camp, business development. I mean, it's just an awesome staff. Kaylin in the office, Heather, program director, just a great group. Really blessed to be there. Watch us. A lot of fun things coming up. I know you'll be a big part of it too.
Absolutely love Wonderland Camp. So I'm excited for you. Congratulations. And as we look at, we say camp, we start thinking summer. And as Brendan alluded to, it's kind of hard to envision some of that with this crazy weather. Did you see on Lake Expo, they had the frozen cliffs? I mean, that was a sight right there off of 54, the cliffs. They're frozen over. It looks unreal.
It's really neat. And there's always moisture seeping out of the rocks, out of those cliffs. I mean, it's a natural process, but it is cool to see that curtain of ice there too. And I'm also glad to not see people playing under it.
Sure.
Since it's right off the highway, because it could get kind of dangerous, but it is breathtaking.
That, and then I saw that Lake Expo also posted a bunch of photos that were shared and submitted to them. And then our very own Daniel Carnahan, they're off the Niagara Bridge west of Camdenton off 54. It partially frozen over, breathtaking drone pictures you see there from him. And then even the cove at Hahatonka Springs partially froze over. And I had seen comments on Facebook that they had never known that area to freeze over. And so pretty unique to see the lake freeze over at all. We saw it a handful of years ago. But it is a breathtaking sight when you get to see all this ice.
And we have a lake house right across from Hahatonka Cove. I mean, it's right across. So you could see it from the docks. I mean, we're frozen right there, too.
Do you worry about damage to your dock when that happens?
Yeah, I think we've had a little bit already because we don't have ice eaters. We're new lake homeowners, so we're still learning the process, and I'm sure we've got a lot more to learn. But I think it needs to be a lot thicker, and there needs to be a lot more movement to see the type of damage we had years ago. Hopefully we're not in for that the rest of this winter.
Well, don't beat yourself up. You're joined by a lot of others who have a lot to learn about the lake and living on it and all that entails.
And about everything.
Right.
We're always learning.
So as we move on to local headlines, you're at Eldon, guys, so you'll love this one. We've celebrated and highlighted Zoe Martin a handful of times the last couple of years from cross country and track and field, but this one kind of takes the cake. The first report was from the Eldon Advertiser, and Zoe Martin, who's the daughter of Steve and Robin Martin of Eldon, she received a full 4-year scholarship to Yale University through the 2023 Questbridge National College Match Program. Out of more than 21,000 applicants, they selected 6,600 finalists to be considered, and Zoe Martin was one of those, and she will be attending Yale University. She's admitted early with full 4-year scholarship. That includes the cost of attendance, including tuition, housing and food, books and supplies, and travel expenses. Questberg Scholarship recipients have an average, unweighted grade point average of 3.94, and 90% are in the top 10% of their graduating class. What an impressive young individual.
And I know a little bit about Zoe only because she's exceptional on and off the quote field. She plays a variety of sports, but she's a runner. My daughter was a runner, so I love to watch the Mustangs run. And so whether it's to see Zoe, who is incredible, cross country and track, there, or in some of her other sports, she's just amazing. And Questbridge is, I think they picked maybe 2,000 students out of 21,000 that applied, and they take care of everything. And Yale, Yale is the third oldest institution in this country. It was chartered before the American Revolution.
I think it's important, Mike, because sometimes, you're accomplished in sports, you get a scholarship, you don't want to celebrate it, you don't want to brag about it in front of the other kids, but it needs to be celebrated because you hit the nail on the head, not just on the field. It said the average GPA was 3.94. Yeah. Zoe was nice enough. I reached out to her and asked her if she'd send me a few list of accomplishments. Oh, yeah. And so she didn't exactly feel comfortable with that, being as humble as she is.
Super humble.
But GPA 4.0, her weighted GPA is 4.4. Her whatever this means, summa cum laude, which is important. I know that's something I can never achieve.
We'll never,
ACT super score of 32. She's been a drum major for 3 years and earned outstanding drum major from CMU at Band Day in 22. 4-time state medalist in cross country, 3-time district championship, 11-time state medalist in track, including 3 first place gold medals, 3 second place silver medals, varsity letterman in basketball for 4 years, science and research, honorable mention in environmental science, first place in the overall state junior science and humanities symposium, state qualifier for Missouri Junior Academy of Science. On and on. Fellowship of Christian Athletes leader, National Honor Society president, Student Council executive president, and National English Honor Society president. That is Zoe Martin Eldon Sr., who is headed to Yale University on the full scholarship. Just unbelievable.
Keep an eye on Zoe.
Yeah, she's going to do.
She is an exceptional, and her family as well. Just fantastic people. Very.
Steve and Robin Martin are her mom and dad, and just an amazing family. Thank you for helping with the information, and congratulations. She's already accomplished more at the age of 18 than you and I combined. And
goodness.
You got 37 years, and I've got 32 years, so we're almost 70 years, and Zoe's running circles around us. Combined,
literally running circles around us.
Okay, so real quick, got to touch on this. I saw a local headline of a Camden County employee who, from the Road and Bridge Department, was fired following several circulating allegations of fuel theft. This according to Lake Expo's report. The Camden County Commission agreed to implement a new policy, and on January 8th, they passed a motion from 1st District Commissioner James Gohagan to implement the fuel policy with full auditing and record keeping, and this was done during a closed session. Gohagan said, "We don't know exactly the amount of fuel that was stolen, but I'm going through an audit and comparing previous years, and the difference is significant." The now former Super District Supervisor Bill Berry was put on administrative leave when the commission was notified of circulating allegations in the department during the first week of January. Commissioner Gohagan made a motion which was passed unanimously to terminate Berry after conducting an investigation January 3rd and 4th in that emergency closed session. The firing highlights a problem with the county's off-site fuel depots, says Gohagan. These locations are cost-effective and convenient for county personnel who are conducting county business further away from Camdenton, so they make sense, like those in Max Creek. But these poorly implemented controls at the depot have opened the opportunity for abuse. Gohagan goes on to say tightening that up is definitely a big priority. We're going to put in a lot of controls that are already in place. We had no idea that it wasn't being monitored or dealt with. In December of 2023, the commission found a big surprise during a tour in one of their depots. That's how this all started. The Montreal depot was kind of being fought over by the sheriff department and the commission, said Gohagan. The sheriff's department had a bunch of their equipment and fixtures in there, but when they went and toured it, they found out there was a 10,000-gallon fuel tank that was basically left alone. They didn't really know about. There was no monitoring going on, and so that initially raised concerns, and with the allegations going on, they started investigating in the audit in the closed session, and so the employee was terminated. Again, that was the former South District Supervisor, Bill Berry, who was put on administrative leave before he was terminated. And Mike, why is this a big deal? It's a big deal because of the precedent it sets. If this is permissible at the county level, what else is permissible? Well, heaven forbid, pedophilia, witness tampering, abuse of power, attempted collusion for insurance fraud, gravelgate, road and bridge theft, county auditor who plays favorites and passes out favors, potentially, an overwhelming problem, and a monster that's continually roaring its ugly head in Camden County. We've got an issue, and we've got to get to the bottom of it. It looks like our commission is doing just that. Good work from Commissioner James Gohagan, and hopefully they get to the bottom of this and find out where all the fuel is going and how bad it is, and hopefully there's some restitution put into place.
Well, and sadly, sometimes incidents like this happen. That's what draws attention to an issue. A policy is being revised. More stringent guidelines are going to be implemented, and hopefully this won't happen.
Yeah, one can.
And they're being very
hope.
proactive about it. You know.
Yeah, and it is an ongoing, continual habit and behaviors from the county of things like this, and so there's a continual. I don't know if you wouldn't say drain the swamp or whatever you'd say, but I mean, so long as people that have been part of that administration and allowed to get away with those things are part of it, I think you're going to continue to have issues. It's like one bad apple does cause the whole barrel or bushel to go bad. So, all right, as we move forward, Mike, we got to look at sports in the area. Man, did you see the Chiefs-Bills game?
Nobody knows less about sports than I do, so you've come to the right place. Here.
I envy you
But
there.
I did, and I was thinking about you because I know how big of a Bills fan you are, and I'm so sorry the way things turned out. Not really.
I appreciate your sentiment. Luckily, as Will's grown, I can totally say, and I haven't always been able to live by this, but thank the Lord that my joy and identity does not come from the outcome of a football game. And it hasn't always been the case, because when it does, you're always let down. I want to say real quick, sports are the only thing that never consistently give you what you want. Even for Chiefs fans, let's look at it real quick. The last 5 years the Chiefs have had, right? It's been unbelievable. Yet halfway through this season, it was doom and gloom for Chiefs Nation. There's a problem. We're 500. This season's over. We don't have receivers.
Well, it was the refs' fault.
Correct.
I mean, that's what I saw on Facebook.
But it was doom and gloom, right? They were flustered. They were bothered. Yet they had won 2 Super Bowls, been to 3. They had Patrick Mahomes. It's like you've reached the mountaintop, but it's so temporary. Because once you win, next year comes, and if you don't win it again, you're left right back in that same exact spot. Sports are the only thing I know that will continually take from you and never give you what you want continually, yet we can't get enough of. So for me, it sucked that the Bills lost, but my joy and identity do not come from the outcome of that football game.
Well, thank you, Travis Kelce. Thank you, Patrick Mahomes. Thank you, Taylor Swift. Maybe the Bills need a Taylor Swift. Maybe that's what they need.
I think that's
what
the
lacking,
missing link. So Chiefs move on. They're going to play the Ravens in the AFC Championship game. And listen,
Baltimore, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And listen, you know Patrick Mahomes' name. He's been a starter in the NFL for 6 years now, and this is his 6th consecutive AFC Championship game.
It is impressive.
So, hey, upcoming events. He told you about some stuff coming up at Wonderland Camp, but Saturday, February 10th, Daybreak Rotary's Winterfest at the Lodge of Four Seasons at 6 o'clock. Connect with them on Facebook. Find out. That event is going to be really cool. Boots and bow ties is the theme this year. Going to be pretty cool. And Mike and I will both be there.
We'll be there.
So come see us. Also, Dr. Sean Kirksey from Camdenton. He's on the Community Spotlight show this week with Uncle Chris, who is on vacation, but he'll be back next week, even if he messed up.
So I'm fired already?
You're already fired. And then before
over.
we go, thanks to Mike Clayton for filling in this week. We'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you, Uncle Chris.
That'll do it for this week's Cup of Coffee from Slumberland at the Lake.